Last year, Google made a big change to its phone line with the introduction of its custom-designed Tensor chip. By focusing on increased AI and machine learning performance, the company was able to create more advanced apps and features for its handsets without needing help from the cloud. And now with the launch of the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro alongside the Tensor G2, it feels like Google is deepening the marriage between its hardware and software. On the outside, Google is using a similar template to what we got with the Pixel 6 with a couple of notable tweaks. On the Pixel 7, you get a screen made from Gorilla Glass Victus, while in back there's an even more pronounced camera bar that now extends seamlessly from the phone's frame across the width of the device. This should provide some added durability while still allowing the device to lie flat, well, mostly on the table. Visually, the most significant change here is the redesigned camera bar. Google has swapped out the long strip of glass for camera cutouts hidden behind a metal panel. We'll have to test it out, but it should reduce the lens flare issues found on the Google Pixel 6. The switch to aluminum matte on the Pixel 7 polished on the Pixel 7 Pro allows it to bend directly into the frame rather than using a seam to transition to glass from metal. It's a sharp design reminiscent of some of the most recent Galaxy S devices. It's not only the difference, though. If you ignore the lack of a telephoto lens on the smaller model, it's a little more difficult to tell each phone apart from the back, as Google has given the Pixel 7 similarly sized forehead spacing above the camera bar. The two-tone design is also gone, with the aluminum frame substituting as an accent color for the back glass. These are all subtle changes, really only noticeable if you are comparing the two generations to each other, but they go a long way. Internally, the biggest change here is the move to Tensor G2, and while it will undoubtedly yield some level of performance gains over last year's phones, that's not what Google's interested in here. The company is doubling down on its AI effort, and although many of these features debuted with the first-gen chipset, they are better and faster than ever. It's clear Google sees its AI abilities as Tensor's superpower. While these phones should handle everything you can throw at them, tools like Photo Unblur, a Pixel 7 exclusive, are the real highlights. After a year of rumors that the Pixel 6 Pro would either launch with Face Unlock or receive it in an OTA update, it's finally here on both Pixel 7 Pro and its smaller sibling. It's just relying on the front-facing camera, which might be disappointing news for Pixel 4 owners looking to upgrade. I ran into some difficulty setting it up too. No matter how many times I looked up, it couldn't get a good look at me. Thankfully, it let me through installation anyway. Using the Pixel 7 Pro, Face Unlock was unsurprisingly fast, much faster in fact than using the fingerprint sensor. Unfortunately, it's likely much less secure. Not only does Google's settings page for Face Unlock deliver a bunch of warnings, including that someone who looks like you, including a sibling, can get past it, but it also doesn't seem to work for app authentication. I downloaded Bitwarden on one of the units, but the app would only unlock with my fingerprint, not my face. Speaking of the fingerprint sensor, I also had a chance to try it out on the both phones, and at least anecdotally it felt faster. I held the Pixel 6 and Pixel 7 next to each other to unlock, and the newer hardware got me to the home screen fast. It's still not as fast as some ultrasonic sensors or the rear mounted scanners of your, but from what I can tell, it's definitely an improvement. Both the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro Sport improved cameras over the previous generation, though most of the improvements come from software features. Super resolution zoom is better than ever, with 8x zoom on the standard Pixel 7 and up to 30x on the Google Pixel 7 Pro. Both phones also support a 2x optical zoom equivalent by cropping the main 50 megapixel sensor, just like last year. The front-facing camera is also improved this year, featuring a larger sensor for improved nighttime selfies. Google also says that telephoto and ultra-wide lenses on the Pro have been upgraded from the Pixel 6, delivering better photos from both far away and up close with macro photography. We'll have to wait and see what these cameras are truly capable of, but in my very limited testing, Google's new tools seem promising. I have got some seriously shaky hands, which should render the 30x Super Res zoom on the Pro basically useless to me. I am putting it lightly when I say Google's AI trickery to reduce camera shake when zoomed in blew me away. It's unlike anything I have ever seen on a phone. Final impressions on how 30x photos actually turn out will have to wait, but if you are trying to frame a shot, this makes a huge difference. I also gave some of Google's new video tools a shot, including active stabilization and cinematic mode. Like with Super Res Zoom, the Pixel 7 Pro did a great job reducing camera shake while I was filming, and shifting between focus in cinematic mode was quick and easy. I'll have to get out in the wild to really test all of the Google's camera tools, including that improved night sight and of course photo angler. I am also super curious to see how the actual quality of captured video holds up, as Google promises it's better than ever on this year's phones with 4K 60fps across all cameras. As impressive as that stabilization was, that doesn't necessarily translate to industry-leading quality. After only using the phones for an hour or so, two of my biggest questions surrounding the Pixel 7 series remain unanswered. I am curious how well the batteries in these phones will hold up. Google only says all-day battery life, which feels disappointingly unspecific. I am also curious whether the Pixel 6's modem issue are improved with Tensor G2. It's been a thorn in the side of many owners over the last year, and any improvements here would be greatly welcomed. Thankfully, we will have full in-depth reviews of both phones coming soon. In the meantime, if you are already convinced and don't feel the need to wait for further impressions, you can pre-order the Google Pixel 7 or Pixel 7 Pro now, and it will be available in stores on Thursday, October 13th. Just like last year, the Pixel 7 starts at just $599 while the Pixel 7 Pro will run you $899. Google would love to sell you on either of these devices, ideally with its newly announced Google Pixel Watch as well.